What's up, guys? Taco here, and today I'm here with a Solus OTT deck profile. So let's get right into it. First, we have Little Witch Lulu. Pretty obvious choice for a Solus OTT. And for grade 3s, we have 1, 2, 3 Scarlet Witch Cocos. Some of you might be wondering, why are you only running 3? Well, to be perfectly honest, in my build, you can probably only use her effect twice anyway, so if you get stuck with these in your hand, they're pretty useless. And for some weird reason, I always draw into it, like multiples of them. So, running 3 is fine for me. Next, we have 2 Sakuyas. She's a pretty good card to play after you ride your Cocos, because then you can bounce your Little Witch Lulu back into your hand, and you can have a 10k guard, and you can reuse the Dark Cats, which I do run in this deck. Next, we have 2 Battle Sister Souffles. I like her because she can swing for 20 with the Gemini behind her. You don't really have to run this card if you don't want. You can run Imperial Daughter instead, but I like playing with this card, so there you go. 2 Mochas, because she can swing for 11, and with a Little Witch Lulu behind her, she can swing for 16. But I would not run more than 2 because she's only 8k. So it's not good when you ride her. 3 Imperial Daughters. No, not Imperial, Promise Daughters. She is pretty good when you need to end things, because her effect is you can discard a card and have her gain 5,000 power, which is pretty helpful at times. Well, some people might be like, why do you want to minus yourself? Well, her effect is only an option. You don't have to use it, so she can just swing for 9,000 if you want. That's perfectly fine. Next, Silent Tom 3. It's a really good card. I wouldn't run 4, not in my format at least, because cross rides and shiz are everywhere. So running 4 would be kind of counterproductive. It'll make things harder for you when you go out against the end, because you block for 5 anyway. This is why I wish this game had side decks, because then you can swap stuff out. 4 10Ks. I know a lot of people don't run this in OTTs, but I do, because again, in this format, there's Majesty Lords and stuff, and if you don't want to get your rear guards picked off by Blaster Blades and Blaster Arcs, you should run this. And it's 10k. When you ride him, it'll be harder for your opponents to deal early damage, which is where OTT struggles with. For grade 1s, 4 Gemini, pretty standard. For Dark Cats, a lot of people are like, why are you running this card? You give your opponent a +1. Well, what you usually do is you play this while you have Silent Tom out. So basically, you do give your opponent +1, but then they have to drop 2 cards at least for Silent Tom if she's boosted with the Gemini anyway. So basically what you're trying to do is keep yourself at an advantage while you're slowly picking out cards from your opponent's hand with Dark Cat. Pretty good, and you can reuse these with Sakuya's effect, so you can have a really huge hand. Next, Emerald Witch Lala, I think her name is. A lot of people don't like this card. I personally find it pretty helpful at times. Of course, she's usually only alive the first couple of turns you ride into grade 3. That's why I only run 2, because a lot of times I do ride another Coco off on top of a Coco, or I ride Sakuya, so then I won't have 0 soul. So if you run more than if I run more than 2 of these will be quite dead. You can also replace these with Battle Sister Omelette. She's a 10k attacker. She's a grade 1. When you have 0 soul, she gets plus 3k when she attacks. But I was playing with that card, and I just find this card more helpful than that. So there you have it. Next, 4 perfect guards, because you can have a huge hand, so it's not really a bother. For the triggers, 4 heal, and then 4 crit, 4 more crit, and 4 more crit, so 12 crit in total. A lot of people are like, are you crazy? Why are you running 12 crit? Well, because I don't think the other triggers are necessary in this deck. Because you draw so much with Dark Cats and Cocos and stuff that if you run draw triggers, you might potentially draw into that, and then drawing into a draw trigger is completely useless. I can say it's completely useless. Or I think it's completely yeah, in my opinion, it's completely useless. Because it's much better if you draw into a 10k shield than into a 5k shield that has no other use. So, running 12 crit is pretty good. And it makes your Sun Toms that much more deadly. So, getting double crit in this deck is not hard to do. So, there's my Solo TT deck. Comment on what you want to see next, and I'll make it. This is Card Otaku, signing out.